I'm not surprised that we're seeing these terrorism charges and first-degree murder charges, but it is a risky move. And terrorism requires either an intent to intimidate the public or influence government policy. And New York has a more narrow first-degree murder law than most states. So it does result in an increased potential penalty. It's 20 to 25 years without the possibility of parole for first-degree murder, and only 15 with the possibility of parole for second-degree murder. So I understand why Bragg's office did this.
Let's touch on Luigi Mangione with comedian Sammy Obeid.
I wouldn't call Luigi to terrorism, man. I mean, you could say he had a mission, and he definitely gave up the rest of his life to do that, and it was a violent mission, and he did it, and so you could say it was a Luigi jihad, and he was radicalized by back pain, Allegedly, by the way, allegedly. Yes, I gotta say allegedly. We haven't matched the eyebrows yet. Yeah.
Obeid, as always, tears into the heart of the issue. Terrorism charges? Really? More from Obeid in a moment.
Everybody's affected by healthcare. They should be coming out now saying, look, we get it. We have families too. We're people. We have children. We care about what you think about, and we're gonna automate this process and make it better or do whatever they have to. That when you appeal a case, it's not a delay situation. And if you have a valid claim, you get paid out. That's what insurance is supposed to do. But putting a fence around headquarters, hiring more security guards, that's all bad imagery, Wolf. It's all bad, and it's not the right answer. So if you're an executive, in interim management, United Healthcare, or any other health company, you got to read the room, Wolf. You got to read the room and realize right now that the public is turning against you. They are your customers, and they don't like it. Now, this poor man lost his life, horrific. But if anything good is going to come of this, it's going to be policy change, because you've basically got people lighting up their torches, just like in the Frankenstein story, and going to the castle, and they're going to burn it down. And you gotta hear that.
Another point of contention: how different age groups feel about what took place on the streets of Manhattan.
I noticed this issue has a generational divide. Okay, Gen Z loves the Luigi. They already got like Luigi tattoos, right? He's their hero, right? Millennials, we're a little more coy with it. We're like, oh, I see what he did there. I see what he did there. Gen X is like, I don't want to be involved in this. I'm just gonna go to my room. And then boomers like, he's a murderer. This is an atrocity. Capitalism makes the world go round. You know what I mean? It's like a big generational divide.
Which Obeid puts perfectly into context. Boomers feel one way, Gen X feels another, millennials too, and of course Gen Z. It is accurate to state there is a clear divide here.
The family of Brian Thompson, the CEO of United Healthcare, who was shot and killed in New York City on Wednesday, has shared a statement in the wake of the shooting. On Thursday, Minnesota NBC affiliate KARE obtained a statement from the Thompsons, taped to the front door of their Minnesota home. It read, "We are shattered to hear about the senseless killing of our beloved Brian. Brian was an incredibly loving, generous, talented man who truly lived life to the fullest and touched so many lives. Most importantly, Brian was an incredibly loving father to our 2 sons and will be greatly missed. We appreciate your condolences and request complete privacy as our family moves through this difficult time."
For many, they are not buying it.
I get it. You have a guy who was shot. I'm not glorifying that. I'm just making jokes. And I've already made a bunch of jokes, and people have been getting on my case. One guy commented on my Luigi jokes, like, a wife lost a husband. And I was like, wait a second. I looked it up. Brian Thompson separated from his wife in 2018. Yeah, they weren't even together. They were gonna get divorced eventually. So if anything, this kind of... Let's be honest. In which case does she get a better settlement, right? And let's be honest. If anything, she should be suspect number 1. Like, why are we not looking at that? They've been separated for 6 years, at least. That's crazy. And they were likely, obviously, seeing other people. So yes, if anything, a side piece somewhere lost a sugar daddy. And I feel for that.
As Obeid puts it in perspective, Thompson was separated from his wife and on the verge of divorce. This storyline has been downplayed by many boomers when discussing the topic.
That's Brian Thompson right there, the CEO of United Healthcare. He was shot and killed while outside the Hilton Hotel.
And United Healthcare, of course, one of the largest corporations in America.
We're told that Thompson was headed to a conference for United Healthcare that was expected to happen in the ballroom of that hotel, of the Hilton there in Midtown, when there was a gunman who fired shots about 20 feet away from him as he was approaching that hotel.
We don't have anything on the way of motivation yet. The police are saying that they think it could be a targeted hit, that the gunman was lying in wait. If this was a conference that had been announced in advance, perhaps he then knew the CEO was going to be there. That would explain why he struck at this moment.
Furthermore, on the reaction from the electorate and Americans as a whole.
It's horrible to lose your father. This is a horrible thing. And furthermore, horrible to hear about like why his father was killed and what he was involved in and all these things that might be haunting them for the rest of their lives. And that's a horrible thing. And I sympathize for those two teenagers, wherever they are. I really can't imagine what it is to deal with that kind of pain and grief and suffering. I do like to keep people in mind, but you're gonna say because of two people, I'm not even allowed to cover this topic. You know, as a comedian, my job is to cover the most relevant, sometimes controversial social topics. And you're saying I can't cover this because of two people? That's f***ed up. And you know what that is? That's denial of coverage. So
Obeid shows us how professional comedians set up a punchline with precision. Please, if you can, check out Sammy Obeid's YouTube channel for more long-form content from his shows. It's fantastic. Go to his website, sammyko.com, for tour updates to see if he is coming to a city near you, which, by the way, go to it, duh. Of course, his Instagram, which can be found at the handle under his name, at Sammy Obeid, and TikTok before Marge and Lauren Bobo decide to shut it down. Shout out to Sammy as always. His content and stand-up is A+, top tier stuff. Hey, I appreciate you watching. Now, if you can, please do become a channel member by going to youtube.com/TYTsports and clicking the join button. If that's too much for you, you can just go to tyt.com/join to become a member. It helps all of us out here at the Young Turks and keeps our network afloat. In addition, you could follow me on my socials on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate the love. Have a great day.